How's it going, people? Jeff here from Ecom Geeks. Today we are going to be talking about some of the top US dropshipping suppliers and why that is important. If you're a first-time viewer, my name is Jeff. I worked at Shopify for 3 years and have reviewed hundreds of stores struggling with conversions. The purpose of this channel is to help you identify and fix the mistakes that are costing you sales. Before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We regularly post the most up-to-date dropshipping strategies as well as winning product videos. And as you know, with trending products, time is of the essence. One of the questions you might want to ask yourself is, why would you want US-based dropshippers? Well, that's assuming that your store is in the US and your customers are as well. Now, why wouldn't you just always buy it from the US? Well, that's because everything's going to be more expensive than if you were to purchase it off of AliExpress or Alibaba, for example, or another dropshipper that is based out of China. So here we have some nice dresses here. You can see that the price is not super cheap. I mean, it's way cheaper than it was, but it's not going to be crazy cheap compared to if you're doing on AliExpress. But the benefit is your customer is going to be receiving these products super quickly, within a couple days as opposed to a couple of months. And this is huge, especially when you're just starting out a drop shipping business. If you're taking, 2 months to get your products to your customers, you're not going to have happy customers. You're not going to be able to get positive store reviews. You're not going to be able to have that as social proof to future potential customers. So what you can do is you can actually use US drop shippers, and when you have built up your store to the point that you have, a decent amount of revenue coming in, move towards something like Alibaba, where you can get, custom logo, packaging, etc. But to do that, you typically need to order like a bulk amount. So obviously, you are not going to start there. So having a, US dropshipper for the interim is actually a really great thing to have, because it can get you in the market and it can get you using, your product that you like. But at the same time, you don't have to disappoint your customers in the process. The first dropshipping website we have here is Light in the Box, very, very similar to AliExpress in pretty much all ways. Just the fact that it's based out of the US, and so like I was talking before, slightly more expensive, but much, much better in terms of delivery time. So this is great. There's also a very similar one called Mini in the Box, and this guy here, definitely compare the two, because sometimes you'll have the same product that is cheaper on one as opposed to the other. So make sure that you compare the two. I mean, for example, let's say that you're a store that sells watches. You can always make sure to check both, Mini in the Box, Light in the Box, or some of the other drop shipping companies that I'll present today, and see which are cheapest, because you can have a store with multiple different dropshipping companies attached to it in order to squeeze the best profit margins out of whatever you are selling. So Light in the Box, Mini in the Box, pretty similar idea. And then we get to CJ Dropshipping, and this guy is pretty big and pretty well known. It is a similar concept to the first two, so I'm not going to really go too much into depth about it, but it is a really great site, and there are some pretty good deals, so definitely compare those first three against each other. The next company we have here is Supply Me Direct. Very similar concept, very similar idea to the other ones I've shown you so far. This one is 100% US based. I believe they're based out of California or something like that. So yeah, definitely give them a shot. Take a look at their products and see if it's comparable to what you're looking at. The next site we have here is Wayfair.com. Now, this is specializing much more in terms of home decor, bedding, that sort of thing. I think most of their stuff is overstock, so just be a little bit cautious about that, because you want to make sure that you can keep selling a product. So be sure to keep an eye on specific stock, and if your product that you're going to sell is actually going to remain in stock, if it's overstocked or not. So yeah, be wary of how much is in their inventory. The same is true for Overstock here. Overstock is it's very, very similar sort of concept, different perspective, but definitely compare those two between each others if this is kind of your niche market, the house, improvements and furnishings and all the rest of that. So those are all the major options that are free. There are definitely other dropshipping websites out there, but those are the main ones that are very popular and I would recommend. Now we're going to get into some of the paid dropshipping sites. So the first one we're going to take a look at is Udroppy. And Udroppy is actually pretty cool. I don't have too much personal experience with it, but it is fairly well integrated into Shopify, which is awesome. So you can see here that the big limitation of these guys are, the number of orders per week. You have like other features that are nice, like the virtual warehouse. Another thing that's important are these sourcing requests, and these are pretty consistent between these next couple of sites that I'm showing you that are paid for. So for example here, I could find perhaps some product like this. This is a head shaver. Finding on Alibaba, AliExpress, or another dropshipping website that is, based out of not the US. And I could actually contact these guys and say, hey, I really want to get this product, but I'd rather source it from the States. And then that provides them the opportunity with a sourcing request that you can send this company or these companies, the couple that I'm going to show you here, so that they can actually look at a couple different suppliers for that and actually add it to their list of products that you can actually check out and add to your store. And then they're going to be sourced within the US, and you are going to make sure that you have that fast shipping time. It's going to be a little bit upsold from the price listed from China, but then again, you're going to be able to still utilize one of these guys in order to help you out. Next guy here, this is pretty well known. Spocket is very well integrated with Shopify. No surprise here. There are some limitations to it in terms of having unique products, and that is a pretty consistent theme across many of these as well. It's not bad. It does a good job and it does integrate well, and they do have a lot of products. At the same time, you have to be careful of your unique products. I mean, if you're going to go for one product store, or a very minor niche, and you're only going to have a couple products, well, then it's not going to be too bad. You can probably get by with a starter or pro. But yeah, just take a look at what the different options are, and then you can make a decision based on that. The next supplier we have here is Crove, or Crovey. I don't know how that's actually supposed to be pronounced. Anyways, so these guys are also a paid service. They're pretty forgiving when it comes to their plan. I mean, you could even get off on the free one for most of the stuff. So the major limitation on this site is the product downloads and the product listings per month. And I mean, it's 500 and 500 for the start of the free one, which is plenty. I mean, if you are having more than 500 products in your store, obviously you're doing exceptionally well, or you're trying to make a giant general store that appeals to nobody in particular and nobody's going to buy from. So this seems pretty easy to go with. I haven't used this, so I don't know if there's any other major limitations, but to me, from looking at this, it seems like the starter free plan would be totally fine to use. The last supplier that we're going to talk about today is Modalist, or Modalist. I don't know what the correct pronunciation is. And here we have a similar sort of idea in terms of paid things. Now, they do have a transaction fee on this thing, so that is important to know. So that's going to be an extra 5% off of every sales. You've got a number of products limited, in the $0 to $35 range there. I mean, again, if you're not going to have a large store, which you probably shouldn't, then it's not going to be that bad. It's not going to be that much of an issue. Taking a look at their other things, like, to me, it seems like you could probably get away with either the $0 or $35. It's just that 5% transaction fee that kind of makes me a little bit wary. But that being said, that's another option to take a look at. So definitely take a look, compare those different options against each other, figure out what are the best options for you and your business, and go from there. If you're a dropshipper with high traffic and no sales, we have a free 5-step guide that will help you develop a profitable ad strategy, learn how to generate free traffic, and help you find winning products that people can't wait to buy. Transform your Shopify store into a professional, trustworthy store that customers can't wait to shop at. Check out the description box below for more information. If you liked this video, make sure to check out our related video here. If this video helped you, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave us a comment and we will get back to you. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on, as we have lots of great videos planned that you won't want to miss.